Welcome back to the Business Book Club. Today, we're doing a deep dive into, well, a really practical book for anyone building a business. It's Traction: How Any Startup Can Achieve Explosive Customer Growth.
Yeah, by Gabriel Weinberg and Justin Mares. And it's definitely practical, maybe even a bit bracing for some founders,
Bracing is a good word. Why do you say that?
because it really pushes back hard on this idea that, if you just build an amazing product, the world will beat a path to your door.
Right, that whole build it and they will come myth. The core idea here is simply a great product isn't enough, period.
Exactly. They argue that distribution is just as important, maybe even more important early on. You need traction.
And they're specific about what traction means, aren't they? It's not just buzz.
No, not at all. It's quantitative proof, measurable evidence of customer demand. Think rapidly growing app downloads, surging search queries for your brand, or actual revenue climbing fast.
It's hard numbers. Like Paul Graham said, the only essential thing is growth.
That's the quote they lean on. And failing to get that growth often comes down to what they call the product trap.
The product, so that's basically spending all your time tweaking the product.
Pretty much. Pouring 100% of your effort into features, design, code, while completely neglecting how you're actually going to get customers. You build something amazing that nobody ever sees.
Which leads directly to their big mindset shift, the cornerstone of the book, really. The 50-50 rule.
The 50% rule.
Okay, so what exactly is that rule? Half your time on product, half on traction.
Precisely. They argue that founders, especially early on, must dedicate 50% of their resources, time, money, team focus, to actively acquiring customers. And crucially, doing it in parallel with product development.
Wait, 50%, that sounds huge. Especially when you're tiny and just trying to get the thing working. Is that really feasible?
They frame it less as feasible and more as non-negotiable. Their point is, if you don't dedicate that 50%, you're basically setting yourself up to fail. Building a product without figuring out distribution, that's just an expensive hobby.
Okay, fair point. So you have to commit to finding customers right from the start.
Absolutely. And how you approach that commitment changes. They talk about these distinct phases of startup growth.
Right, the 3 phases. Phase I is just getting those first few users in the door. The leaky bucket phase, they call it.
Yeah, the leaky bucket. It's a good metaphor. You're pouring initial resources in, maybe some early marketing spend, founder effort, but the product isn't perfect yet.
So customers come in, but many just leak out. They churn because it's not quite sticky enough.
Exactly. And the key insight for Phase I is don't try to scale yet. You'd just be amplifying the lead, burning cash on users who won't stick around. The goal here is learning, iterating.
So when does the bucket stop leaking? What signals you're moving into phase 2?
That's when you start hitting product market fit. The users who come in are actually sticking around, finding value. The churn rate drops significantly.
Okay, so phase 2 is about taking what's working and scaling it up, trying to get towards sustainability.
Right. You've likely found a channel that works, and now you push on it. Phase 3 is later. That's market domination, maximizing profits once everything is really humming.
But they emphasize that this growth, it doesn't usually look like a smooth, steady climb, does it?
No, not at all. It happens in spurts. You unlock a new customer acquisition channel, growth surges, and then eventually that channel starts to slow down or get saturated.
And that reality, the spurts and the saturation, is why they developed their main strategic tool, the Bullseye framework.
Exactly. Because if your growth depends entirely on one channel, what happens when it stops working as well? Your growth flatlines.
So the Bullseye helps you deal with that. How?
Well, first, it acknowledges there are tons of ways to get traction. They list 19 distinct channels, everything from, SEO and content marketing to trade shows, offline ads, viral marketing.
19. Okay, that's a lot. Trying them all sounds like a recipe for disaster.
It is. Spreading yourself too thin means you master none of them. This ties into Peter Thiel's idea they reference.
Ah, the Thiel quote. It is very likely that one channel is optimal.
Exactly. You don't want to be moderately okay at 3 channels. You want to find the one channel that's going to be your growth engine right now and absolutely crush it.
So the Bullseye is the system for finding that one channel. How does it work? It's 5 steps.
Yep, 5 steps. Repeatable process. Step 1, brainstorm. List all 19 channels. Don't self-censor yet. Even if you think offline ads. For my software startup, no way. Write it down. Force yourself to consider the full landscape.
Okay, brainstorm everything. Then what?
Step 2, rank. Now you start filtering. Look your brainstorm list and pick, say, the top 3 to 5 channels that seem most promising for your specific product and target audience. based on gut feel, maybe some light research on cost or reach.
So narrow it down to a handful.
Right. Step 3 is prioritize. Take those 3 to 5 promising channels and put them in your inner circle. These are the ones you're going to actually test.
Which brings us to step 4, test. This sounds crucial.
It is. And the key here is cheap and fast. You're not trying to fully build out a channel strategy yet. You're running small, inexpensive experiments just to validate your core assumptions.
Can you give an example, like for SEO?
Sure. Instead of spending months creating blog content, hoping it ranks for certain keywords, you could run some cheap Google ads, SEM, targeting those exact keywords. See if the traffic actually converts. Does anyone click? Do they sign up? You get data in days, not months.
Ah, okay. So it's about getting quick validation, not immediate profit from the test.
Precisely. And once you have test results, you move to step 5, focus. If one channel clearly outperforms the others in your test, like significantly better cost per acquisition or conversion rate, you drop the others for now.
Drop everything else.
Really?
Oh, yes.
You pour your entire 50% traction effort into that one winning channel. Scale it, optimize it, exploit it for all it's worth until it eventually saturates or gets too expensive.
And saturation seems inevitable. They talk about this concept, the law of shitty click-throughs.
Yeah, Andrew Chen's observation's a memorable name.
What does it mean?
Basically, over time, all marketing channels become less effective. Click-through rates drop, conversion rates decline. Why? Because channels get crowded. Competitors jump in, users hit banner blindness or ad fatigue. What worked great last year might barely move the needle this year.
So the Bullseye process isn't something you just do once at the beginning.
Definitely not. It's cyclical. Once your main channel starts to fade, you need to run the Bullseye process again, always be experimenting in the background, looking for that next untapped channel before your current one completely dries up.
Okay, that makes sense. It's a continuous cycle of focus and experimentation.
Exactly. Let's maybe dig into a couple of those 19 channels. Viral marketing is always a popular one.
Ah, yes, the dream of going viral. What's the key metric there?
The viral coefficient, usually called the K factor, the goal is to get K greater than 1.
Meaning,
on average, every new user you acquire brings in more than one additional new user through invites, shares, whatever the mechanism is. That's when you get exponential growth.
And how do you calculate K?
Simple formula. K equals the average number of invites sent per user multiplied by the conversion rate of those invites.
Okay, invites times conversion rate. But there's another piece to viral speed, right?
Yes, absolutely crucial. Viral cycle time. How long does it take for a user to go through that whole loop, sign up, use the product, invite others, and have those others convert?
Shorter is better, obviously.
Massively better. If your cycle time is 1 day versus 1 month, even with the same K factor, your growth curve is dramatically steeper. Think about how quickly a funny YouTube video spreads versus, say, something that requires users to build up a network over weeks.
That YouTube example is perfect. You see it, you share it, friends click it almost instantly. Very short cycle time.
Right. And they break down different types of virality, too. There's inherent virality.
Like Skype or a messaging app. It only works if your friends use it.
Exactly. The value is the network. Then there's communicative virality, like the classic Hotmail example.
Oh yeah, the get your free email at Hotmail signature on every email sent. Genius, really. Subtle promotion built in.
Yep. And finally, incentivized virality. Think Dropbox, offering free storage for referrals. You're explicitly rewarding users for spreading the word.
So optimizing for viral growth means obsessing over K factor and cycle time. Even small tweaks can have huge downstream effects.
They're sure. A 1% improvement here or there compounds like crazy over time. Okay, let's shift gears. What about something less digital, unconventional PR?
Ah, the publicity stunts. These are always fun examples.
They are. It's about engineering an event or action specifically designed to get media attention.
The We Pay Ice block example is legendary. Dropping a giant block of ice saying, PayPal freezes your accounts right outside a PayPal conference, that took guts.
It really did. And it worked brilliantly. It wasn't just random noise. It was perfectly targeted at developers frustrated with PayPal. Generated tons of press, thousands of signups, a focused PR hit.
But unconventional PR isn't just big stunts, right? They mention customer appreciation, too.
Yeah, that's the other side of it. Small, scalable actions that build incredible goodwill. Alexis Ohanian from Reddit, when he co-founded Hipmunk, used to send handwritten notes and little gifts, like luggage tags, to early users.
That feels very personal.
It was. And it turned those early adopters into passionate evangelists. They talked about hit monk constantly, amplified the message for free. That's super high leverage, low cost PR.
Okay, one more channel maybe. What about offline ads? Seems counterintuitive for tech startups.
It often is, which is exactly why it can work. Many tech founders just dismiss print, radio, billboards, direct mail as, old school.
Which means maybe less competition?
Potentially, yeah. And lower costs, especially if you target correctly. The key is knowing the demographics of the medium. Newspapers skew older, certain radio stations hit specific commutes, etc.
Didn't DuckDuckGo do something clever with a billboard?
They did. The privacy-focused search engine put up a billboard right near Google's HQ in California that just said, "Google tracks you. We don't."
Nah, that's bold. Did people driving by actually switch?
Some probably did, but that wasn't the main point. The real win was the press coverage the stunt generated. Major outlets picked up the story of this little search engine poking the giant. The ad budget essentially paid for a massive free PR boost. Doubled their traffic that month, apparently.
Wow, so the offline ad triggered online buzz. How do you test offline stuff cheaply, though?
Use remnant advertising. That's the unsold ad space that publications or stations often sell off super cheap at the last minute. Great for running small tests, and always use unique promo codes or landing page URLs to track if those offline ads are actually driving results.
Got it. Measure everything. Okay, so let's tie this together. The Mint.com case study seems like a perfect example of the bullseye in action.
It really is. Mint, the personal finance tool, they had a super ambitious goal. Get 100,000 users within 6 months of launching.
100,000? Wow. How'd they approach it?
Systematically. Noah Kagan, who was leading marketing then, basically used the bullseye. He brainstormed channels, ranked them, and set up a spreadsheet to model potential traffic and conversion rates from tests on the top contenders.
So data-driven from the start, what did their initial tests show?
Their early small tests, sponsoring tiny financial newsletters, buying cheap ad blocks, pointed clearly to one channel being the most effective for reaching their target audience of financially savvy young professionals, targeting blogs.
Interesting. Not massive media buys, but blogs.
Yep, mid-tier financial bloggers specifically. So they went all in. Step 5, focus. They sponsored relevant bloggers, wrote tons of guest posts. That single-channel focus got them their first 40,000 users.
40,000 from just blogs. That's incredible proof of the focus principle.
It is, but then inevitably...
The channel started to saturate. Costs went up.
Exactly. Growth from blogs started to slow down. So what did they do?
Back to the bullseye framework.
You got it. Reran the process, tested again, and found their next winning channel, public relations. Big media hits. They shifted their focus entirely to PR.
And that's what got them over the line.
And then some. That PR push ultimately helped them hit 1 million users within 6 months of launch. It perfectly illustrates the cycle. Test, focus, scale, saturate, repeat.
That's a powerful story. Okay, let's wrap up. What are the big actionable takeaways for listeners trying to build their own traction?
I think the first, and maybe hardest, is truly committing to the 50-50 rule. If you're leading a startup, you absolutely have to carve out half your brain power, half your team's time for distribution, not just product. Make it a mandate.
Easier said than done, but essential. What's the second tip?
Measure the right things, especially for channels like viral marketing. Don't just track signups. Obsess over your K-factor and viral cycle time. Run A/B tests constantly to improve them, because growth compounds. Even a tiny 0.5% or 1% improvement makes a huge difference long-term.
Right. Focus on the metrics that drive exponential growth. And the final takeaway, simple but critical. Focus. Resist the urge to dabble in 5 different channels at once. Use the bullseye to find your current winner and then pour your resources into it. Squeeze every drop of growth out of that channel until it stops being effective, then find the next one.
Don't get distracted by shiny objects or what competitors are doing. Find your channel and dominate it. Sometimes, like with offline ads or unconventional PR, the best path might be the one everyone else is ignoring.
Well said. It's about structured experimentation and disciplined focus.
Always great insights. Thanks for breaking that down.
My pleasure.
If you found this deep dive helpful and want more quick, practical insights from key business books, make sure you subscribe to the Business Book Club. We'll catch you on the next one. Now, that's a wrap for this episode of the Business Book Club. If you enjoyed the ride, make sure to subscribe so you'll never miss our next deep dive. Got a favorite business book you'd love us to explore? Let us know. We're always up for a good read. And hey, don't keep all these insights to yourself. Share this episode with a fellow book lover or your work buddy who's always looking to level up. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next episode.